Good morning, folks. Uche Joku, Sneaker Principal. And in this brief episode of the Principal Podcast, I want to share with you perspective on how to deal with disgruntled folks on your staff. And what I mean is, listen, let's go to the beginning. You can never make everybody happy as a leader. It's just not possible. Literally not possible. There's always going to be something. Even if you have an amazingly well adapted community, there's some level of homeostasis, everybody's cool, but there's always going to be something that rubs someone the wrong way, someone who's just not feeling something. That's always going to happen. The question is, when it happens, what do you do about it? When it happens, how do you handle those situations, those persons, to ensure that it doesn't prevent movement. It doesn't create a situation where folks are all of a sudden, distracted by things that don't really have to do with the overall functioning and movement of the school. And I'll tell you this: if you're a leader, aspiring leader, and you think like this is too much to deal with, people's and their feelings, whatever the case may be, we're people, human beings, and feelings is part of our just collective existence. And there's always going to be somebody in your feelings. There's always going to be somebody who's not happy. The question is, what do you do about it as a leader? So I'm going to say this. First thing, if you do see or notice, or it comes to you that someone is just not doing well, or they're upset about something, I think it's your responsibility as a leader to dig a little bit deeper. If it's just kind of doing reconnaissance and figuring out what's going on, or better yet, going to that person and saying, hey, I sense this, or this was brought to my attention. What's going on? Talk to me, And hopefully that allows that person the opportunity to vent, to share whatever the issue may be. Some people might just tell you, oh, no, everything is fine, and convince you everything is fine. But then, yes, take their word for it, but still watch and listen and pay attention. You don't want to push. You don't want to be like all up in their face, like, you must tell me. But however, you want to make sure you have an understanding what's going on, and you have the pulse of your staff and your community, all well within your locus of view. But now, if you're in a situation where this person or these persons are going overboard, they're now starting to sabotage or create situations that may cause detriments to the community, you are not to ignore it. You are to address it. And there's a number of ways you can do this. You can address it directly yourself, go and talk to these peoples or these persons, or you can use the system itself. Like if someone is doing something that's counter to school policy or the district policy or your city or whatever you are, like in New York, the New York City Public Schools policy, chancellor's regulations, use that to address it. But the thing is this. The thing not to do unless you have no other choice, because a policy has been broken that requires it to be addressed in a capacity that's disciplinary. My thing is use the policy to bring people to the table and say, hey, what's going on? How do we fix this? The key is communications. The key is creating those spaces to communicate, to have those conversations. But not only that, to also take the opportunity to build to deeper relationships. Somebody said recently to me that what you need to do is those people who are giving you the hardest times are the ones you have to bring closer, that you need to spend time to get to know. Bring them closer and really get to know them and really establish those relationships. You might never, ever be 100% cool, but having an understanding is very, very important to be able to move forward and not have things fester for the long haul. So what I'm saying in entirety is this, communicate. Ensure that you are creating spaces where people feel free to come and let you know, hey, there's a problem. Whether there's a problem with them or someone else, but you are aware. I would say this, as a leader, there's no excuse for you to not be aware, because if you're 100% not aware of anything that's going on in your school, then something is not quite connecting. Your community is not, they're not there communicating with you, or you're just blind to what's going on, and that's not appropriate. You have to have people around you who care as much as you do about your community and are willing to say, hey, principal, assistant principal, leader, there's an issue here that needs to be addressed, so that you can do the right things and take the right steps to address it. Well, I just wanted to get that out of my head real quick. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you later, all right? Peace.